up, gamers? This is NGG here with another review video. This time it is for Pokemon Violet and Scarlet for the Nintendo Switch. This is an older game for most of you. Came out last year in November, and it had, I think, one big major patch. So we're gonna find out if it's as bad as people say it is, because this game has gotten a bad rap in the Nintendo and Pokemon community. So let's get into story. So the story of Pokemon, this version, takes place in the world of Paldea. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. And you are a Pokemon trainer as always. You come from your home as always with your mom. But this time it's in a school environment. So you're set straight to like this school environment where the way you traverse this Pokemon game is a lot different from most Pokemon games, which are more linear. This one is more open world. I think it's their first attempt at open world, and I think they did really good with it. So you are in the world and you are trying to find the treasure. That's what, like, the school sends you on a treasure hunt, and that, like, you never have to go back into that school building if you don't want until the very end. But the school sends you on a treasure hunt, and you have to pick either 3 things you want to do. Eventually you have to end up doing all 3. You have a guy you meet who's Irvin, and he wants to go on this like sandwich thing looking for Herba Mysticas, and that'll be how you upgrade your Rhydon Pokemon, which is the legendary Pokemon which they give you at the very beginning of the game, which never happens. So the box legendary Pokemon is the Pokemon you get at the very beginning of the game. Unfortunately you can't fight with it, but you definitely get it at the very beginning of the game. And so you can upgrade, do the upgrades with Irvin. And then the second one is Neoma, who is your like typical follow the Pokemon League. You go to all the battles. She is definitely very like wanting to battle every step of the way, like to the point where I was like, can you leave? Can I play? Can you leave me alone? Following me that hard. And then we have I'm going to butcher this name, Cassiopeia, I don't remember how, and that's gonna be your Operation Starfall. And in Operation Starfall, you are taking down like these. There would be like what you would consider the bad team, like Team Rocket kind of situation. I didn't feel like they were bad guys, but I haven't felt like the bad guys were the bad guys in a game for a while. But so you have to take down Operation Starfall. So instead of the bad guys running around trying to take the world, there's a whole different storyline with the bad guys in this game, and that I don't want to spoil. I'm probably going to spoil a little later on, but I'll tell you when there's spoilers. But that's basically the story. You're going on a treasure hunt. So those are the 3 things you're focusing on. So I like that instead of it's just being focusing straight on the league, you're focusing on the league. You're also focusing on your upgrade of your Rhydon Pokemon, and then you are also focusing on Operation Starfall, which is like taking down the bad team in this game. So those are the major plot points in this game. I have beat the game. I beat the post game and the mainline game, and that's why I feel like I have enough knowledge to talk about the game, where as some of the reviewers I've watched never even finished the game. And so let's go talk about the gameplay. So like I said before, in gameplay you have different ways to play. So they brought back like the sandwich making thing mechanic. This time it's making sandwiches. In Sword and Shield, it was like your 10th thing. They're definitely bringing back that mechanic on you playing with your Pokemon, you feeding them. I do not like the way that the camp was set up to breed your Pokemon. I haven't had luck breeding any of my Pokemon in the camp yet, and that's probably why I don't like breeding that way. I like my daycare centers, but they have eliminated the daycare center situation, so that's not a thing anymore in this game. You also have the different ways you can traverse the land. It's by land, water, sea, and air, and then climbing as well. So there's lots of ways to get around in this game. It doesn't have a stamina bar, thankfully, but that's where your upgrading mission with Arvin takes place, because you're gonna need to upgrade your ride-on Pokemon to get to more places than just your regular riding will do. You have to upgrade. The Pokemon are visible in the world, so there's no like getting into random encounters that you don't see. I mean, some of these Pokemon run right at you, so that'll probably be the only random encounters you get, but you see them running right at you, so you can try to avoid them if you want, which I really like. I really like seeing my Pokemon in the open world. I didn't like random encounters, and this way you can hunt for shinies better. In my game playthrough, I found a shiny right away. I don't know what the chances of that were, but in my first hour of gameplay in Violet, I found a shiny, and you could see them right outside in the world if they're shiny or not. So I appreciated that in terms of gameplay. I did like that there was like nowhere that you couldn't go that wasn't like the only way that you were obscured is if you couldn't walk over there. So you can go whichever direction you want, wherever you wanted. The only thing is that you couldn't catch Pokemon of a certain level without obtaining a certain gym badges. So each gym badge gave you a new level cap of Pokemon you could catch, which was nice. So you could battle as many as you wanted in the higher levels. You just couldn't catch Pokemon of higher levels. So it's kind of how they skewed the world to like, all right, you don't want to go this way, it's too hard for you. But I mean, if you really wanted to go that way, you just level up your Pokemon. Again, but sometimes, you know, Pokemon has that thing where they don't listen to you. If you're too overpowered for the badge you have. So I did appreciate that. And like I said, with Operation Starfall, you are battling this game's version of the bad guy team. So you are going to each one, and they give you money when you beat it and a badge. So you get multiple badges in this game. So you get the League badges and you get the Operation Starfall badges as well. Those badges, I don't remember if they did anything special or not. I know I beat all the Operation Starfall to finish the game and to finish the post-game content, but I wonder if you could not beat that. I don't know. I think you have to beat it all if you want to get to the post-game content. Otherwise, you don't get to the post-game content. So that was nice. Now let's talk about the multiplayer. So in the multiplayer, we have your friends that can come in and join you. Now, in the beginning, I thought that whenever there was something on the floor in my game that they would just snatch it and I wouldn't be able to grab it. I think the only thing that you really have to concern yourself for is if there's a shiny, because I do think that your friends can grab the shiny in the game. So when I was playing, I just had a rule like if you see a shiny and I'm around, don't go for it. Otherwise, you're fine. You can play in my world, no problems. But you can grab, like, people can grab stuff and it'll still be there in your game. And you could also play main game plot points while people are in your world. And like if they DC, it's flawless. It doesn't bump your game. If you DC, they'll still be they go back, transported back into their worlds, and it's not like a major crash or like how Animal Crossing had it. So I like the multiplayer system that was implemented. I do wish that we had more people wandering the world. I wonder if that's why Sword and Shield didn't do too well, because you saw all those people and it was hurting the like loadout system. But I do miss seeing regular travelers in the world and making it feel bigger and more expensive and with more people. The towns were full of people, but I never really talked to the NPCs. So I think with me having like players in the world was nice inclusion in Sword and Shield that I'm sorely missed for this game for me. Okay, now let's talk about the elephant in the room with this game. Everybody says that this game is a really, really bad game, and I'm gonna tell you, I did not experience half the glitches everybody was forcing to happen. Like, I did experience some, but they weren't game breaking. They weren't even very, like, some of them were immersion breaking, but none of them were game breaking. I had one time where before the patch where my game like completely kicked me out the game and crashed, but that only happened one time. And then I had another one where I was glitched through this hole in the wall and I couldn't get out of this hole with my Rhydon Pokemon, and that only happened once, and I almost reset it, but eventually I got off the glitch. So I mean, if you stick with it, sometimes you can get through the glitches. I did see some like you can see underground or see what's through the wall, but that's only if you get super close to these walls and like force the camera to go a certain angle. I didn't have that happen so much. So a lot of people that were reviewing this game so badly didn't even play the game, didn't even finish the game. There are games that I've played that are really good that had worse glitches, and everybody just crapped on this game so bad, and I don't understand why. I mean, obviously we want a game to be complete and we want the game to work correctly, but it wasn't like game breaking every time or immersion breaking a lot for me. I have a whole playlist if you want to see like my playthrough, what I experienced and whatever glitches were in my game. That's in the playthrough, so if you don't believe me, just watch the playthrough. But I loved a lot of the stuff. The only thing I haven't done in this game was shiny hunts or get 100% of the decks, but it's not something I'm interested in this game. Usually I skip generations with the 100%ing the decks. We also now have access to Pokemon Home, which was an update that just came out May 31st of 2023. So now I can finally move Pokemon over from my Scarlet copy over to my Violet copy. So the loading screen is a little longer, but you can see all the Pokemon that I have in all my boxes in Scarlet, and if there is one that's not in my party, I can just transfer it over into Home and then transfer it over into my main game. The only thing is there is a limited amount of Pokemon you can transfer in to this game, so that sucks. But I definitely have a lot of my Pokemon here in Scarlet. I was kind of trying to do a living dex, so you'll see a lot of the starters. I get some shinies here too, and I like that the shinies are very visible in this part right here. There's another shiny right here, and so you can see what I've been collecting. Oh, here's another shiny right here in the Titan form. But so yeah, and then these are my extras. But yeah, I like that Home is now available. I wish that they would bring these Home updates sooner, even if it's just from game to game, until, because I know they want you to play the main game without like going through it so fast, but I would like at least Home to be available from game to game, even if you can't put Pokemon in from the outside games, just so you can transfer them in from your own personal game to your other game on your other save file. But you can definitely see all of them here, and let's see, you can see your other game. Oh wait, I just saw that one. Okay, let's connect to this one. And my boxes on this one are a little bit more of a mess, guys, because nothing was sorted out. But definitely see what Pokemon I have. I definitely was collecting all of the rarer Pokemons in this game. As you can see, I don't really have too many of the regular Pokemon in this game because I was doing a living dex in Scarlet. But that's it for Pokemon Home, which is nice that we have that available to us now. Let's give this game a rating. So we're gonna rate this game from 1 through 5. I rate this game a 4.5. This was a really good entry into the franchise. I really liked the gameplay. I really liked that it was an open world. I really liked that I can see all the Pokemon in the world, and I really liked not having random encounters. I do like that we got our legendaries in the beginning. I was skeptical about it in the beginning, but definitely understood it as the game progressed. So this game doesn't deserve any of the hate that it got, guys. I think if you are a Pokemon fan, you are gonna love this entry. If you give it a chance, it changes the formula enough for it to feel like a new game. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this review. Hopefully you had some good experiences with the game. Let me know what your experience was with the game, if you stopped playing after the beginning, before the first patch came out, or if you're thinking about returning back now home comes back in and you can transfer Pokemon in and out. Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy gaming, guys. Bye.